Hi, Leo. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your April 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements, wisdom, oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 8. And 8th house energy for you guys is Pisces, and recently we had Saturn move there. Of course, we've got Neptune there for some time as well. And technically, at the time of recording this, we're just wrapping up Pisces season 2. And generally speaking, 8th house points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments. All right, speaking of Neptune, we see Neptune here as well. So again, more 8th house energy for you guys. And we have Aries. So yeah, another thing. So for a lot of April will be an Aries season, so it makes sense to see this come up as well. And for you guys, Aries energy represents your 9th house, which generally speaking points to philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs. So with all that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Strength card, which is actually the major arcana card for your sign. And challenging that, we have the 3 of Wands. So seeing these 2 cards here, the main way that I'm seeing this could be playing out could just be saying that you might be holding yourselves back around a certain situation, possibly because you're trying to take the perspective of, okay, I've already done enough work toward the situation, and now it's just time for me to reap the rewards of that work. So, for example, on the one level, you might still feel an urge to take more action towards something, right? But you might be talking yourself out of it, like, oh, it's just my ego wanting to act, right? And just convincing yourself that you've done the work you need to do. Now you just wait for the results to come in. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, this can be around a romantic situation because this is Pisces energy here, and we did see that come up with your dice as well. It could just be saying so just to give it a practical example, let's say you recently expressed feelings for someone, right, that you have a crush on, right, and now, like, okay, I let them know how I feel. I might still want to keep reaching out to them, keep contacting them, but now, you know what, I said what I need to say, the ball's in their court, let me see what they do next, right? So it could just be as simple as that. But yeah, for some of you, this could just be saying that you might have made this move around Pisces season. All right. Past position, we have the 8 of Cups. So this is actually more Pisces energy here too. And it could just be saying that at the start of Pisces season, you might have actually walked away from something that you might have felt wasn't fulfilling for you anymore. For some of you, this could have been a romantic connection, or maybe some kind of investment that you might have been putting energy towards. So for some of you, that could have been physical assets or just your time and energy. All right, in the present position, we have the 5 of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here. It could definitely point to some conflict, some ego conflict. Usually I view this as one of those situations where it's one of those types of conversations where you know that nothing good's going to come out of it, but you still end up engaging in it anyway. And given that this is a 7th house energy for you guys, it could be around your relationships, could be romantic or just any kind of partnership in general. So just be on the lookout for that, where there could be a brief conflict. All right, in the near future position, we have the 9 of Wands. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. And it could just be saying that you might be feeling really guarded, right? Especially if you did go through a 5 of Swords situation. But yeah, it could just be one of those things where it could be a knock to your confidence in some way too. You might feel like, okay, I was feeling confident around a certain situation. Now after this, I'm not quite so sure, right? But what I usually point out with the 9 of Wands energy is we see the one person, the person holding on tightly to that one wand and almost unaware of the fact that there is still the 8 behind them, right? So it could just be saying that even if you do feel like you experience some kind of setback, you still have all the work that you put in the past that's still there for you. So that's what I see with that. Right, the position of your influence in the situation, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So this is actually a Taurus energy here. So yeah, for some of you, maybe this is around a career situation where you might feel like okay, so now to put a different spin on this, I mentioned a romantic scenario before, but let's say it's more of a career thing, right? Where maybe you feel like you've put in a lot of work toward your work environment. and you were thinking, okay, well, I feel like with the amount of work I put in, I should be up for some kind of a promotion or raise, something along those lines, right? But you might feel like that's not coming to you, so there could be some frustration there, or you might start to second guess, was the work you've been putting in worth it all this time, right? So it could be a dynamic like that. If that's the case, I feel like it's saying, especially as we move into Taurus season, you might see that situation more clearly. All right. In the environment position, we have the Six of Cups. So to me, the first thing that comes to mind when I see this, well, it's Scorpio energy for one, but I feel like this is saying that the key could be for you guys to actually just be a bit more playful this month, maybe reconnect with something from your past that you were passionate about, maybe even going all the way back to childhood. For you guys, Scorpio energy is your fourth house, so it could even just say maybe reconnect with family that you might not have spoken to for a while, right? Could just be one of those things where going back to your past in some way could actually be a spark that helps reignite you and gives you some more confidence in your situation as well. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Four of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy here, and I'm going to assume it's a fear for most of you. And it could just be saying that that's exactly what this issue is, right? Where, like, on the one hand, you took action towards something, and now you're trying to tell yourself, oh, now I can just wait for the results to come in, but at the same time, you feel like you have this fear underneath it, like, okay, what if I never get that thing that I'm looking for, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're a bit caught up in your heads right now around that situation. Right. And in the outcome position, we have the sun. So yeah, to me, this is another indicator of what I was saying there, which is I feel like the key for you guys this month is to actually be more playful, reconnect with something from your childhood, like I said, or even if not yet, just when you were younger and when you felt more alive, more playful. I feel like that's going to be the key for you guys this month to actually just take a bit more of a playful and loose approach to things, and things will fall into place more easily for you this month when you do so. All right, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here. Could just be saying that you might have a lot of communication going back and forth this month, especially if you do, right, choose to reconnect with people. But yeah, like this is saying that you'll see a lot of movement. Speaking of movement, beneath that we also have the Chariot. So could definitely be a lot more movement coming for you guys this month. But like I said, it looks like you might just have your faith shaken briefly, but I feel like you'll regain that confidence, especially if you do take a more light, playful approach this month. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card. We have Don't Make Assumptions, and it says Discern the Truth. Okay, it says the problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. So, reading that message definitely seems like it could go well with that Five of Swords energy, right? Where we talked about there's the potential for a brief conflict there. So, hopefully that resonated with you. Okay, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Go the Distance. There's the artwork, and the number is 47. So let's see what this has to say. Okay, essential meaning says endurance, strength, and the long haul. The Oracle's message: to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. The card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, especially when it talked about strength, of course, which the strength card is the card that represents your sign and the major arcana. And then also the sun made me think of what it talked about as far as the authenticity. So hope that resonated with you. The relationship message says you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and a symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there as well. And especially because we did talk about briefly, like I said, for some of you, maybe you expressed feelings to someone and now you're just waiting to see if they reciprocate, but hopefully that resonated. And the prosperity message says your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work now can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, especially when we talked about that Seven of Pentacles energy and also the Nine of Wands energy, where you might have started to second guess the experiences that you've had to this point. All right, and lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is the mudra here. It's the Jnana mudra, and the keyword for it is wisdom. Okay, let's focus. Alright, so there's the info. If you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, but under benefits it says evokes the feelings of lightness, calms the mind and brightens the spirit, opens the chest and facilitates diaphragmatic breathing, reverses the outward flow of prana and directs energy back toward the body, increases the benefits of any asana. So if that sounds like a mudra thing be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description below as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. Alright, bye.